Welcome to the Ness Productions Anniversary Edition. Year 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean.
Works every time. Happy anniversary to us. We have been at this 2 years.
2 years.
It went by in a flash. Nerd jokes. Except we didn't mess with the timeline.
We didn't. That we know of. two years. Jesus.
Our podcast secretly created the next Hitler.
Well, as much as I talk about it, I always like to squeeze in a Hitler or a game or something.
He's like a purist for one of the comic teams. Marvel is stealing all of the DC jobs. Actually, it's the other way around.
I was thinking like well, first of all, I'm thinking, Jesus, I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know, right?
I was thinking like what was the music download where everybody was stealing at one time? Metallica, like, sued against it.
Livewire, I think is what it was called.
Something like that.
I remember that being really popular when I was like...
where you could download everything for
a
free.
sophomore, yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember hearing about, like, Madonna, like, all her songs, like, if you're a Madonna fan.
Yeah.
You could, like, download all her music, and you're like, oh, cool, I got all these songs and everything. And then once you finally got around to listening to it after you download it, it was just her going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, over and over. That's all it was on a loop.
Yeah.
I picture, like, our podcast. It's like, 999. Oh, my God, fix the timeline.
Where's the bear Jew when you need him?
Well, let's let this... I would say, Ryan, let's let this play out. Let's see if we get... How many views do we get?
We'll fix it after. We'll see if it was worth it or not.
Let's just ride this one out. Anyway, how you been, man?
Good. I've been in the virtual world, so Sean hasn't seen me in a while.
Oh, man. It's been a long time for me. Long week, long weeks. Seems like months. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Missed my therapy session.
He's chock full of crazy today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so we have some news. Sean's got a story, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
We have our Q&A / reading your comments bit. We're going to pretty much go as long as the questions and comments take us after our news and stories and whatnot. And if we have any extra time after that, Sean's got a few other things that we can throw in to round out the episode. So we might go longer than normal or around our average. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's kind of our motto. Let's see what happens.
Minus the Hitler stuff I was talking about moments ago. Let's let this one ride out. So, yeah, okay. The other day, had a friend of mine. I noticed after this incident that I'm about to tell you, I do have quite a few friends who are, as they say, implants here.
Yeah.
Transplants. Mm-hmm. You're a transplant. I'm a transplant.
I sort of am. I am from Oregon, but I am not a Scappoose native.
Just Oregonian in general.
I'm Oregon. I've only ever lived in this state.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, had a friend of mine that I've known high school. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, on or off air. He's one of these guys that I wouldn't even say you don't even call only when you're moving, but just one of those guys that
you don't ever call.
Exactly, and you see him, you're like, oh man. But I mean, nice guy, but he does like some over the top.
Like on a scale of 1 to Reverend Ray, how much do you want to avoid him?
Reverend Ray would stay in the bush.
Woo, doggy. That is
just for some of the fun. But, you do stupid high school shit. We always did funny stuff with each other. Let's put it this way. There was one time, in my time, long hair.
Yeah.
I remember going to sleep with this guy around. He cut my ponytail when I was sleeping.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
While we're on that, I don't mean to derail you,
No,
but
go ahead.
my dad is of a similar generation as you. He's a little bit older than you, actually. I think you're in your 40s. My dad's in his 50s. I mean, my dad's 29. If he's listening, you're 29.
Celebrating the 4th anniversary of his 29th birthday, like I said.
But yeah, he had long hair until I was like in the 5th grade.
Okay.
I remember the first time I saw him cut his hair, and it was when me, my dad, my stepmom, and my stepsister. We were all going down to California to Disneyland and whatnot.
Oh, right on.
And I think I was like maybe 3rd or 4th grade, and he was meeting my sister's because she's my stepsister, so she has different grandparents than me on her dad's side, and he was meeting them for the first time, and he was like, so he cut it off, and like he rat-tailed it, just like the tiniest rat tail that he could just like stuff down the back of his shirt just to keep that last bit of like his uniqueness of the long hair.
Did he put on the mouse ears to make a good first impression?
That would have been a good idea.
That'd have been my move.
But yeah, I remember how crazy it was because like I'd never seen my dad cut his hair. As long as I could remember at the time, he had long hair.
Yeah.
I had long hair actually for a point.
Yeah.
When I was real little, super blonde. It was down to my shoulders.
I've seen.
Oh yeah, I've shown you the picture.
Fedora the Explorer. When I was giving you shit with the.
No, that.
Well, that's after, but.
Yeah.
But so yeah, to the point where I mean we'd all do fucked up stupid shit to each other in high school and everything, harmless stuff. But this guy was always like, you think I'm bad with some of the shit, like the stuff I did with like Jimmy and Garrett and you everybody. He takes it just like beyond.
Yeah.
And eventually you grow out of that shit to the point where like
You're
in high
supposed
school.
to.
Yeah, but so like in high school, right before prom, he was the guy. I don't know if I've ever told you this before. That passed out and I shaved his eyebrows. I know I haven't talked about it on air.
This is for my ponytail.
Exactly. And his date, his girlfriend at the time, had to pencil his eyebrows in for the prom picture.
Oh, sad.
Okay, so here we go. The magic of Facebook. This isn't recent. This has been, over. Where the first time you ever got a Facebook account, you're like, all of a sudden you see people that you haven't talked to in like forever just messaging you. You're like, oh shit, this guy's still alive? Like, I can tell you a guy right now that I've talked about that you well know that part of this show that does our
yeah.
There was one time he got really bad into certain things, and I thought he'd passed away.
Wow.
Facebook, I'm like, holy shit, he's alive, and he's doing very well. Anyway, I digress. This guy that I'm talking about, this fucking clown shoe, he messages me. He's like, hey, you're in Oregon? Is that what you said? I'm like, yeah. He's like, he's got a job. And he's been doing this for a while because he used to work for me.
Yeah.
When I had the warehouse stuff, he would run cattle or horses like big money.
Yeah.
Thoroughbreds and stuff back and forth for people. Like you go up to Canada, you go down to Southern California, you go over to Arizona, you'd go to Montana. Stuff like that.
He was like a hot walker. Like he'd like warm up the horses before a show.
Is that what?
I think so.
I thought you were making a joke. I don't know the terminology. All I know is he's got a trailer and he's got.
So
money
he delivers the horses. Like when someone needs a horse from Washington taken to California, he does the drive.
Yeah,
okay, that's different than
whether there's
thinking.
buys or from one ranch to another, and he gets paid pretty well.
Right on.
So, and he'd been driving, and it just so happens he was on his way to Canada. And so he messaged me. I'm like, oh shit, are you serious? And he said, I'm like, well, Scappoose is like right there. And he ended up, I'm like, dude, yeah. So this was Thursday, Friday? Friday. Yeah, Friday. And he said he had a job interview. He had to be in Canada by Monday because he had an interview for something else. And he's sitting there and he pulled up and we'd sit there, we chit-chatted. And you know me, at 9 o'clock, 10 at the latest, I'm in bed.
Yeah.
And he's one of those, like I said, he's one of those guys where it's like, hey, chit-chat for a little bit. And it's like, all right, go away. Type thing.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm just like, my bedtime's my bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And Matlock's over. I've had my supper. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I gotta go to bed. No. And not to mention the fact he pulled out 2 suitcases of beer. And I don't know how many he'd had before.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's in bed at this point. My daughter's in bed at this point. Sleep. Very drunken, irritating, to the point where we were chit-chatting it started off real good. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Catching up. To the point where it's like, what? Then he started attacking my beard. And brought up the high school prom thing. He's like, I'm going to cut that beard. I'm going to cut that beard. And he's like very grabby and just hanging on and just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to get irritated. Very, very irritated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, dude, you're more than welcome to crash here if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And then be on the road, in the morning, just get your bearings, crash out, blah, blah, blah. Because I wasn't going to, I was torn because I know him and I'm cordial to him, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him driving around under the influence
either.
Especially when he's supposed to be working, quote unquote. And he just will not stop. He's focused, he was just focused on my beard, just cut. And I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to bed. And I go, and I'm like, fuck, where's my phone? Where the fuck is my phone?
Yeah.
And I've done this, I don't know how many times. You know this. I've left it at the shop. I'm like, all right, if it's at the shop, did I leave it in the car? Did I do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. So I go to bed, and I can't find my phone. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to spend all night looking for it. I'm like, fuck it. I assumed it's at the shop, or it's in the car, and I'll just charge it when I get to the shop the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done looking for it. I can't find this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then he comes into my fucking, where my wife is sleeping, and I'm going to bed, and just blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God, every drunken fucking thing. I'm getting payback for every fucking drunken thing that I've ever done. And this guy just will not fucking stop. I'm like, dude, you gotta go to sleep. You can't fucking, don't wake my wife up.
She will throw your ass in the closet.
Yeah. No, she won't.
Not
like,
the same way you got there.
It's like, I'm just feeling like embarrassment.
Yeah.
And like, kind of like what I was telling you with the Ray story, where it's like, hey, brothers, it's like, oh, fuck. But like worse. And now I'm fucking getting irritated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to choke this motherfucker at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally get him to lay down and go to sleep, and he's fucking just talking. Now he's like getting like fucking like angry.
Yeah.
Like angry drunk type, towards me. And I'm like, just go to sleep, dude. It's fine. So finally I did that. Then he's up again, and I was walking around. I hear noises in the kitchen. I'm like, fuck, I'm not getting any sleep. This fucking guy. I'm going to tell him to go. And what he's doing is packing up his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's leaving. So I'm like, okay, I'm at a crossroads. What do? Do I fucking just let him go? But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to fucking see him.
Yeah, you don't want him driving around.
This is like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah.
You know what he does? Hands me my fucking phone and goes, have fun with the dick pics. And I'm like, all right. He's like, I'm out of here. And just like grump. And I'm like, I look at my phone and there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was payback for what I did the last time I put him to bed. And I'll get to that in a minute. So I'm like, okay, fucking idiot. And he left.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck? This is weird. Apparently he took dick pics on my phone and just everybody in my fucking call list sent it out as much as he could. And then just fucking sent.
Yeah.
To the point where I didn't know what he meant at the time until the next day, where I'm starting to, like a group message But like you can only, I guess you can only do so much because not everybody
Yeah,
got it.
I didn't get one.
Yeah. Josh said he didn't get it. Jimmy got it. He's all, but I don't look at your messages anyway. Fuck you. But people like my distributor,
Oh, wow.
my kids, people who come into the shop, my fucking mother-in-law, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then like people like responding back like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is, blah blah blah. I don't know what he sent, but he sent something. He wasn't bullshitting apparently, just being trying to be funny, haha, you know. And this was payback because last time I finally, when he was fucking came into my room, and I fucking said, dude, you sleep out here. Go, just here's some blankets to do everything. I shaved his eyebrows again. Because I wanted to beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
At this point. So I'm just like, all right. And he kept bringing it up, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? And he had a job interview, remember I said on Monday? But fuck, dude, come on. I know a lot of people, like, there was some people, thank God nobody responded with a pic of their own back. It's like, hey, how you doing? No, it's like, but
you're
at the
up
same
too.
time, dude, I got a business.
Yeah.
And I got a lot, as you all know, I got a lot of people who fucking, like, message me for whatever.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if it was like,
Oh my
like,
God.
I mean, I know Josh and I would not have been happy to receive that picture, but it would have been one thing if it was like just your acquaintances and friends in there, not family, kids, and business partners.
Yeah, it's just people who come into the shop and shit. It's like, man, fuck. So part of me is just like, okay, all right. But I'm just trying to take happiness. I feel like Gandalf in that Fellowship of the Rings, fighting that. Remember that big demon where you shall not pass, and you fucking stop him, and then he fucking defeats him and shaves the eyebrows. But then remember right at the end the whip, and he pulls it down.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck. God damn it. And I had to put it in order. So I'm like, every time so this whole past week since that happened, I'm like, because I started seeing messages and it was on a group thing, so it's like blah 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 and 18 others or 20 others or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, it didn't hit everybody, but who did it fucking hit?
Yeah.
This fucking fucker, man. So yeah, you found where I will draw the line. He one up to me and fucking said fuck off and went on his way. Oh my God. And I can't, that's the fucked up thing is I can't, like, I put myself in everybody else's shoes, and here's a first right here. I apologize. I never apologize for shit.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm the one doing it.
Yeah.
I apologize if you were the one who got it. Trust me, I've had to go through some very awkward conversations this past week. And I don't mean to make light of it. It's not, that wasn't me. It wasn't, I mean, no. Think about it. It's like, I got a business to run. Why would it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. But at the same time, I'm like,
on the
fuck,
bright,
he got me. He out-Sean-anigan me.
on the bright side, Sean still has his beard.
And my eyebrows. I wonder how that turned out. That'd be the only thing, because this is the first and only person now that I blocked from Facebook.
Yeah.
And from everything. I'm like, this is 8 times of fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even want to hear from this guy again. He wasn't really, I mean, he was an acquaintance at most. I wouldn't call him a buddy or a friend or anything. He was just, a funny type shit, And I told Josh the other day, I'm like, from here on out, I realized I've surrounded myself with fucking idiots. And if it's not you or Ryan or anybody in my family, I'm not talking to them. That's it. I don't care. I will be I am the guy that just, you're somebody who's going to buy something.
Yeah.
If you're not in that group.
Sean has 2 groups. People he podcasts with, people he sells shit to.
Exactly. That's it. No. That's it, motherfucker. I got an apology out of me. I don't do that. I don't do sorry. Anyway, that was that. So thank God again that you're here.
You know, that beard is looking a little long. I think.
Settle down. All right. On that
I
note,
shave yours, you shave mine?
no. Right now, I got to clean up.
But you have to go first.
I feel like I'm still feel like I'm wearing the scarlet letter, and I don't know to who. Oh, there goes the dirty dick shower. It's not me. Anyway, on that note, let's go to a little segment we have called Out of Context Theater. Nice segue, right?
Yes.
Easter's around the corner. I want to keep it a little festive, right?
April Fool's Easter.
It is, yeah. Remember I was telling you that I want to
Joke's on you. There's no Easter bunny. I'm just kidding. It's April Fool's.
I want to get the grandkids over and have them go look for Easter eggs that nobody hid. Fooled you! 2 for 1 right there.
I've seen tons of little quote-unquote pranks. Like, people, like, show the prep work of a prank. It may or may not be real. But, like, someone took, like, Brussels sprouts, put a stick in them, and then dipped the Brussels sprout in chocolate.
Oh, really? Can you get away with doing beets? Beets are horrible too. I saw. You know what? You're right. I saw that with grapes. They did it with grapes.
Yeah.
But I wish this was the case. So here's a little thing that I wanted to show you that I saw. He walks and he poops jelly beans. He's called Funny Bunny.
I've seen things like that.
Really?
Yeah. At Roadrunner right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
We don't have the Funny Bunny, but we have the Dino Do.
Explain.
It's a little dinosaur that poops out jelly beans.
Oh, so like year round, not just Easter.
Yeah,
you're going year round.
I don't know if it walks because I'm not spending money on that.
Oh my god, I saw that. I'm just like, Funny Bunny. Oh yeah, that's funny, all right, but not funny. Ha ha. That's
well, anyone that listens to us knows that we're like 50% poop jokes, so we find it kind of funny.
I'm gonna stray away from the dick jokes for now because the joke was on me. But yeah, dick and fart poop jokes. You know,
So you're saying you're done at the lemonade stand. You're going around the corner to where the fudge is made. Up the block, they sell milk.
Oh my god. Something about around the corner, and I'm gonna lick it up, or your mom's gonna lick it up, or something.
I don't know.
But a goodie. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that was awesome. 2 years, huh? 2 years of this.
2 years. 2 years of dick and fart jokes. And we talk about comics every once in a while.
Yeah, you know, some nerdy stuff.
Sometimes
pop
video
culture.
games, pop culture.
All right, got some news. News fit to print.
So we're going to talk about it instead.
Yeah. And it took me a lot of work to do, you know, the way I always get the news for you. I just hit a button and look at what other more accomplished people are.
That's all YouTube reviewing is.
But I try to get it, like, within minutes. All right, Melina Van Trub. You know her?
Never heard of her.
Yeah, you do.
I don't recognize the name, at least.
Cute girl, AT&T commercials. Brunette.
AT&T?
Here, let me show you. Hold on. Let's see if I can work this. The AT&T girl.
Oh yeah, she's in a couple of commercials. Yeah.
Well, she's most famous for AT&T. I know that.
I've only seen like 2 with her in it.
They are doing Marvel New Warriors as a TV show because Legion and the New Mutants show really went big. Mm-hmm. She's cast as Squirrel Girl, a.k.a. Doreen Green.
Huh.
They cast her as Squirrel Girl.
Interesting.
And they've also cast Derek Theller. I'm not
familiar with that
He's
name.
with some other show. As Mr. Immortal, Craig Hollis. This dude.
That is a handsome looking dude.
Are you familiar with
He's got
New
$1 million
Warriors?
smile. I am not.
You know, neither was I. Squirrel Girl, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not really. And like, there was a couple times I was at like cons and stuff, conventions and everything. It's like people were cosplaying as Squirrel Girl and everything. I'm like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, you poser! I'm like, oh shit, I better read up. You know, it's like,
Then you read up and you're like, you guys are the posers.
I'm just like,
She's
people-
famous because of a misprinted panel.
People made people made fun of me about Howard the Duck. It's like, come on.
At least Howard the Duck is true to who he is.
That's right. And I've got a let's see. So that's happening. There's no set date for that, but I'll watch it.
Yeah. Give it a gander.
We're coming up on Infinity Wars.
Yes.
Remember the movie that started it all for the MCU?
Iron Man?
Yep. Directed by Jon Favreau,
Yes.
who also did the Jungle Book live action movie.
I did not know that.
Awesome. And they're giving him Lion King
Ooh,
live action.
nice.
You know what else they're giving him if he doesn't have enough? Would it be a greedy fuck, Mr. Favreau? When Disney, we've talked about this before, when Disney does their own service, their Netflix type stuff,
Yeah.
they're giving him a live action Star Wars TV series. Yeah, he's doing it.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to get it. I'll still have Netflix. Got to have that. Speaking of Netflix, does everybody know that there's a Deadpool 2 trailer out?
I have not watched the trailer.
I've
But
watched it.
I don't. You know me. I don't.
You're not a trailer guy.
I don't typically watch trailers.
Yeah.
Too many times in the past before I adopted this ideal, I'll call it this practice of mine of not watching trailers. Trailers have bitten me in the ass where I'm like, all right, yeah, this movie looks so awesome. And then I saw the movie and I was like, that was just the shit. They showed all the good stuff in the trailer.
Yeah. Or
Just-
now they start showing stuff. It's like, that's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
In the trailer. It's like, oh my God, look at this. Thor has 2 eyes. No, he doesn't. But anyway, the Deadpool 2 trailer dropped. I've watched it a gazillion times. They're forming X-Force,
Yeah.
but...
I heard they had to do some reshoots. They wanted to put in more Cable and Domino.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that. But what I'm getting at is Netflix is just made a big deal with Rob Liefeld, the guy who created X-Force, created Deadpool,
Yeah.
created superheroes with a lot of pouches and huge giant boobs. Super sweet guy. I met him at a con.
You've got my attention.
Yeah. How many pouches does this person need? They have, because Netflix is buying up a bunch of properties, and they're just kind of like rolling the dice to see.
Yeah.
Extreme Studios, Rob Liefeld, Extreme Studios, with stuff that he's done from Image.
Uh-huh.
Like, you remember that comic we used to read all the time, Youngbloods? Exactly.
What?
Your deer in the headlight look. How about Bloodstrike? Remember those guys?
What?
Let me show you. Yeah. How about those? You remember those? We read them all the time at the shop.
Is that Cable?
Exactly. Netflix is going to do series on both of these.
Well, I mean, I guess they have to make up for the fact that Disney is going to start taking all their properties away for no good reason.
Well, I'm surprised Disney has waited this long anyway. You know what I mean? It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, we're too busy. At this point, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, they might as well just print their own money.
You know what I don't understand is like if they just do the contract right, basically here's our characters, we don't have to do shit. Netflix is doing all the work and we're going to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
But they're like, nah, we want to do a whole bunch of work and spend a whole bunch of money. I mean, they have the money. They have money. They wipe their ass with money. But, like, I don't know.
like,
Maybe it's because I'm poor. I just can't get the idea of spending money on something where instead I could just be like, all right, here's my thing, Sean. Give me 50% of the profits.
Where I'm thinking of that old movie with Richard Pryor called Brewster's Millions, where he has to spend these ungodly amounts of money in order to inherit the big...
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to spend it fast enough to get rid of. That's Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Brewster's Millions.
You know,
they got Brewster problems.
I could pull up the old sleeves here. I know how to spend $1 or $2. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
My house could use a few upgrades.
Yeah, they just raised our rent. That's a whole nother story, though. I don't want to bring the room down right now. Well, at the risk of, let's see, hopefully it'll bring this up. My next bit of news is Vin Diesel. I like him. I like
cool.
Vin Diesel.
He is Groot.
He is Groot, and apparently he's also Valiant Comics Bloodshot.
Oh, right on.
They're doing a movie. Are you familiar with Bloodshot?
I have heard of him.
Super soldier type, but
It's like a
nanotech.
yeah, like a Japanese
Yeah.
New York utopia, and he's like the android superhero that's like keeps the town safe.
Captain America with nanotech in his bloodstream or body
Yeah.
or whatever. Did you read? I didn't. I'm not familiar with any of these. I'm just.
I've never
spitting them
read
out.
any of his stuff, but I've heard of him through other comic book YouTubers I watch.
Okay. I mean, I liked him. I mean, Riddick. What an
Yeah.
awesome character. I never heard of anything. I'm pretty sure it started with the movies, and then they did comics and other stuff.
Yeah.
Like animated.
They had the movie, then comics.
Pitch Black was the first.
Pitch Black was the first one. Then comics, anime, video games.
Not all the movies have been as great as some others,
Yeah.
or anything. But I like that character though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just like Vin Diesel as that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him, man. I hope he. I'm there.
Yeah.
You're there. We're gonna go see it. How is that? Let's see. Wrinkle in Time is out.
I have not seen it.
Me neither.
It has gotten, like, from what I've seen though, like online, it has not been doing great.
Just
like the reviews have been very middle of the road. Like people saw it and they're like, "Yep, that's a movie."
that type of reaction.
Yeah, like it's all been like threes, fives, and like stuff like that.
All right. Well, I mean, it's it's a children's book with very heavy Christian undertones. I mean, what do you
So
expect?
like the Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, same thing. Yeah, exactly. Bravo. Yeah. But the director. What were you gonna say?
The Chronicles of Narnia. Whenever I think about that, I think of this comedian who as he was reading the book in elementary school or whatever, he realized that like the Christian Jesus
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's exactly what. You're right.
and he was like, and when all the other kids were sad when the Lion King died, he was like, "Don't worry, he'll be back." I think I've read this book before.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. I mean, seriously, you hit the nail on the thumb. But the director for Wrinkle in Time that made apparently Oprah Winfrey God and 50 stories tall. I don't know. I haven't seen it either. Ava DuVernay. That's the director for this movie, Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
She is set to direct Jack Kirby's New Gods movie.
Interesting.
Are you a New Gods fan? Did you ever read New Gods?
I've never read New Gods.
New Gods
I'm
is.
still in the middle of reading Old Gods.
I'm at the Lion, the Witch, but I haven't got to the wardrobe yet.
The Bible's a long read, I tell you. I tell you what. I always have so much trouble with nonfiction titles.
Ooh.
I have this running joke where I tell people I can only read books of fiction, so the Bible must be true because I can't make it through that shit. I'm not a Bible thumper, folks. I'm the complete opposite. I'm free thinking. I accept others, gay, black, whatever. I accept them. Not a Bible thumper. I mean, look, I hang out with this guy over here.
Yeah, it's like I'm the guy. Apparently, I'm the dirty dick shower who doesn't believe in Jesus helped me out after my car wreck. Okay, Batman helped me after my car wreck. Both make believe. Anyway, talk about a derailment. They so yeah, she's planning on doing, and I think she's gonna be awesome. I mean, she's right there. Whether you like the material or don't, I guess, like you said, it's kind of just Wrinkle in Time is doing.
Yeah, like
But
it hasn't gotten bad reviews.
I saw the
but it hasn't
trailer.
gotten good reviews.
I saw the trailer; it looked beautiful. I mean, I will see it, because Because I'll look for, like my wife says, she's like, you don't watch movies like normal people. I'm like, well, because I've kind of been on the other side of the camera, you know. But I just...
You're like, ooh, I really love this camera work.
I do. Yeah, I do. I look for that. I look for, you know, production design. I'll watch it. That's why I see it multiple times. Anyway, I think it's awesome. There's a New Gods movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never thought the day would come, huh?
Well, actually, these days, I mean, you're right. I know what you're saying. Like Little Sean, no, especially New Gods. But now these days, it's like, well, we kind of fucked up the DC universe, so let's go to space.
You're like, all right, it's things are on the fence right now, everyone. I say instead of going by the Snyder book like we have been, let's play with it a little. Let's get crazy.
Dude, I totally want to see...
if we're going to go dark, let's go space dark.
yeah. Because we'll actually get to see Dark Side.
Yeah.
For one, that's New Gods. The Our Father. I mean, so on. Oh, yeah. If it's done right, and it's supposed to be a standalone, so it's not tying in. They're not trying to do their bullshit with a shared universe. Like
they can't decide if they're going to give up on the universe or keep going.
Give it up.
They can't decide.
Give it up. Marvel's already got it fucking locked.
Yeah.
That's their thing. But let's see. What's another thing? Oh, here we go. Shape of Water. Have you seen that?
Isn't that the one? Wait, hold on. Is that the one where the lady falls in love with like the fish guy?
I thought it was an Abe Sabian.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw the trailer, and then I actually I read it. I read the premise, and I was like, oh.
Well, this is something you might be familiar with. It's out, but Amazon. You have the Amazon stuff where you can watch movies on there, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to read you a review that my man Steve did about Shape of Water. Okay. He gave it 1 star, thinking the same thing. I thought it was an Abe Sabian, because, I mean, same director that did Hellboy and everything. Mm-hmm. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
I wish I could give this thing 0 stars. You don't see the fish's dick. Not once. How is such a thing possible? Let me make Jurassic Park, but not show you any dinosaurs. Let's make Aliens, but with no xenomorphs. How about Titanic, but with no fucking boat? This is a movie about a lady having sex over and over again with a fish who has a fish penis. And the fact that you never get to lay eyes on the aquatic member is an embarrassment to everyone involved. Would love to say I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. But I'm definitely both. Best Picture my ass. I guess it won awards. Steve's not happy. Anyone who says they like this pile needs to take a look in the mirror and tell themselves they deserve better than a movie about a woman who has sex with a fish where you never see the fish's dick. Not once. I mean, look, dude, there it
He took that,
Wow.
You really wanted to see that fish penis.
I guess. Good for Steve, man. let it fly.
He knew what he wanted when he went into that theater, and he was making no fuss about it.
He had expectations. He wanted to let his fish flag fly. Wow. So, there's that. So, I guess he took it a little harder than you and I did, as far as Abe Sabian goes.
So, on that note, let's answer some questions.
Yes. Oh, wait. I do have unfortunate news.
Oh?
I got some glory holes for us.
Glory holes?
I'll go through it real quick because these are people...
Where the glorious people that have influenced us are put down into a hole in the ground.
Thank you, sir. These 4 gentlemen have touched everybody listening, you and I in this room, and anybody else.
I'll show you on this doll.
In one way. No, not that way.
Oh!
I'm just saying. Okay? Wayne Ziniga
Okay.
passed away at 82 recently. He was the founder of Blockbuster Video.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever been to a Blockbuster?
I have. Somewhat recently, in fact.
Yeah.
Josh and I, about probably 4 months ago or so, went to the Blockbuster in Sandy, Oregon. because it is closing down,
Yeah.
or was closing down. It was like the last Blockbuster in Oregon.
They're going the way of the payphone and the dinosaur. I know.
Payphone?
Yeah. But this man, I mean, think about it. Like I said, these four names I'm going to give everybody, they've touched our lives in one way or another, and they're definitely part of pop culture. And I used to, before the Weinsteins bought that out and kind of dissolved it, I used to get like, all the new releases before it came out. Mm-hmm. My previous wife was a regional manager for Blockbuster.
Oh, right on.
So I got to meet the Weinsteins. Apparently, one of them these days, that's not a good thing. That's not bragging, but... Anyway, number 2, Frank Average, who he passed away at 93. Okay?
Whenever I hear someone pass away, at an old age, like the first guy, I was like, psh, that's nothing. My grandma's outlived him. My grandma's not, and my grandma's around the same age as this next guy, so I'm like, what? I compare everyone's lifespan to my grandmother.
Okay, we'll go home and ask. Did you know Frank Average? He was Bozo the Clown.
There was an actual Bozo the Clown?
There was. Frank Average. Once upon a time on the Howdy Doody show, black and white, or just watch Happy Days reruns. Bozo the Clown was the guy, very entertainer, but there was multiple Bozos. Mm-hmm. And he started it, and he started like a plague. Not like the clown sightings where it's like evil and stuff like that.
Damn you, Average!
It was the right around the invention of TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that, and you watch the show.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, Mr. Average couldn't travel as much as the syndicate, or the not the syndication, but the programming was being broadcast. Uh-huh. So he had the idea was to have other people dress up as Bozo the Clown and entertain the kids and stuff like that. But he kind of got a bad rap because, think about it, it's like, oh, you fucking Bozo. Or like when I was talking about the thing earlier, I called him a clown shoe. It was all like, Bozo was the guy that started all that.
Beat it, Bozo.
Exactly. It's kind of like a bad moniker type thing. But he was one of the original entertainers when TV first was invented. Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 93. There he is. You see Bozo Clown. That started.
That is terrifying.
Not at the time. It was. He's a creator. Create, destroy. What are you going to do?
Destroy my childhood.
Okay, the next one, which is kind of a sad thing, because this just happened a week after, so this might be a 2-for-1. Charles Lazarus passed away at the age of 94. The founder of Toys R Us.
Oh.
A week after they closed their doors.
Like it was the only thing keeping him alive.
Yeah, pretty much. Charles Lazarus. But you know what, though? I'm not going to worry about him. I miss Toys R Us. Who has it running? I used to remember running in like a spastic fucking, like the Noid. Toys R Us, yeah, because we never went. Like, when we were small, you're like, Kmart, maybe a Star Wars toy here or there. I want a Transformer. No, you get a GoBot type thing. But around Christmas time, Grandma would always take me to Toys R Us, I love Toys R Us. It was a special event because I didn't get to go all the time, But it was so sad that, I heard about that. But not really, though. See, I have faith because of his last name. If he invented Toys R Us, he damn sure is going to be in a pit, and he'll be back. The Lazarus pit.
I thought that was going to come.
Right? Come on. Don't act like you know me.
Nerd.
Last one, and this is one I'm sure you guys, especially up here in this part of the area. Russell Solomon passed away at 92. He, when he was a teenager, his dad had like the soda pharmacy type thing, and he wanted a little corner. Asked his dad if he could have a little corner to sell some 45s. Just a little corner to see if it'd work, for pennies.
Yeah.
And that was the dawn of Tower Records. Remember Tower Records? You ever been to Tower Records?
No.
Ever been to Tower Records?
I have not.
Tower Records was the way Mr. Solomon put it out, worldwide. Started out nationwide, worldwide. But the thing with him, though, he was the ultimate boss because he would hire people from different regions of territories.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, let's say we're opening up a Tower Records down in Sunset in Hollywood.
Yeah.
What's going on in the 80s? Let's say he opens up in the 80s. Oh, glam music. So you guys are in charge. Sell whatever. What you guys think are cool. Okay, you sell the Motley Crue. You sell the Poison. You sell the Rat. All the glam bands.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to open up a Tower Records in Seattle. Oh, what's cool? Jimi Hendrix, Nirvana. Depending on the time frame. Soundgarden. Stuff like that. He let everybody who ever, like, the employees were in charge of the store. There was no corporate... You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was really cool. And, the best, how he passed away, I heard this story. He was watching the Oscars recently. Yeah. He passed away during the Oscars. He was at home with his wife. And I don't know who he was looking at, but he was making fun of what somebody said or was wearing or just the Oscars in general. And he was sitting there just drinking whiskey and just getting hammered, and he was making fun of the people on the Oscars, and his wife went to go get him another drink.
Yeah.
And when she come back, he passed away on the couch.
Wow.
And I'm like, holy shit, that's the fucking way I want to go.
He died laughing.
He fucking making fun of somebody, waiting for a drink. That's the way I want to go. That guy fucking rules. And he understood music, even though, depending on his age.
Yeah.
But he let the people around him, if you don't know, surround yourself with people who do.
Yeah.
That's the way I want to
go. You're slowly getting there, Sean.
I am making fun of, heckling somebody, waiting for a drink. All right, last but not least, before we get to the questions.
With how long it takes between recordings, I might come and you'll be dead. And you had to wait a whole week for your drink.
Pointing at like fucking, I don't know, Bieber or Lindsay Lohan, fucking making fun of him, something like that. Rick and Mortis is set in and I'm pointing, laughing. So yeah, there's that. All right, last but not least, I do have our fun little segment.
Yeah, which one?
The one where we sit there and we talk about this shit and we spend our money and we do this and do that, and they hate us and they give us bullshit. What the fuck, Hollywood?
Oh, what the fuck, Hollywood?
And this might, as if the top of the hour story might have not given me the black sheep logo. This could make me hated. This might be too soon after a certain person's heart attack scare. Mm-hmm. I was watching Dogma, 1999's Dogma. Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where... You've seen Dogma, right?
I have. It's been a long time, though.
Or the shit monster, the Go Gotham, comes up there, and he's got the spray to get rid of him. Kevin Smith grabs the anti-odor spray.
Yeah.
They're like, why do you have that? And Jay's like... and he sprays and kills the Go Gotham.
Uh-huh.
The first scene, they cut to a scene, and then they cut to like seconds. Go Gotham pops up, sprays him, and then they cut to Jay and Silent Bob. Tell me what's wrong with that picture. First scene. What digit is he going to use to spray? Yeah. So yeah, that's the... you couldn't fix that, Kevin? All right, I'll get you a break. You just had a heart attack. Too much? Too soon? Too soon?
Too soon.
No.
Too soon.
And that's all I got, sir.
Yes, we will round the rest of this episode out with questions and comments.
Q&A.
Sean had a lot more to talk about than I thought.
It's chock full, sir.
I left him alone for too long.
I backed up.
You'd think with all those doctors sticking their fingers in there, you'd have a good flow.
You know what? I was about ready to say you're like a wife who makes the husband sleep on the couch for so long. But then you had to go there. Now you ruined it.
All right. So our first question comes from Neon Dreams Studio.
Oh, we're giving names. Okay.
Yeah. You can't comment on a video on the internet and not expect someone to say your name.
They tell me that. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I like the video. It's a lot more fun to see see the guys behind the voices. So Sean, has Ryan ever told you about his dad's favorite trip taking him to the doctors? Hang in there, you guys. Someday you'll be you will be turning sponsors away. They will all want you to fly their colors. So unfortunately, I do not have the answer to this question. I have a god-awful memory, and I cannot remember the last time my dad took me to the doctors. But I do really appreciate your comment. It means a lot that you enjoyed our actual use of the video camera, and that you are, rooting for us and hoping, wishing us good fortune in the future where we can get, money.
And this is one of those, for instance, right here that I was talking about. Like, I mean, you can clearly see the comment.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad, or you spell my name wrong, just say my name. Hint, hint. Spelled my name wrong.
Say my name.
I don't care.
To be fair, I did spell your name wrong for the first 3 weeks I knew you.
I spelled my name wrong 5 minutes ago.
All right, our next one comes from the Ray Man. That's not his name, but Ray. Everybody tolerates Raymond. Just kidding. Thank you for your comments. So his first one was, he has stuff for the both of us. What comics would you suggest to a person that's never been exposed to the culture? Where would you have them start? Would you suggest something different depending on whether they're male or female? So I always would recommend Spider-Man. Spider-Man really, it works for male or female. But for females, I would recommend a very strong character, especially for a younger, anyone can identify with her. It's the new Miss Marvel. Anyone can really identify with her. There was this, her comic became such an underdog hit, and people were, the way they positioned the poster was where if you put the comic in front of your face, anyone's face could line up with it, and that everyone could identify it. So if I was to suggest a Spider-Man comic, though,
you're right, yeah.
If I was to suggest a Spider-Man comic, though, I would recommend starting in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, or you could start with the short run of Spidey comics. Actually, I'd recommend that one even more because it's a little bit more it's a bit more canon.
Mm-hmm.
Spidey. It's just Spidey, Spidey, and it's a modern take on Spider-Man's origins, but without giving you the full origin, because everyone knows it, right? Anyone that's seen a movie talked about Spider-Man, they're like, all right, Uncle Ben dies, he got bit by a spider, he's a superhero now.
Yeah. Are we both answering?
Yeah. Yeah, both.
Say the question again, I'm sorry.
What comic would you suggest to a person that's never been exposed to the culture? Where would you have them start? Would you suggest different comics depending on if they were male or female? This is why I sent you the comment.
That's right. Yeah. Mine might be a little more long-winded, but I'll try to go through. First of all, find a shop closest to you. Okay.
We have one that's just a stone's throw away from our recording studio.
Pick books that you want to start reading. And it doesn't matter, like I was telling you earlier about the Squirrel Girl thing. Oh, you're a poser. If you saw the movie and there's some pretentious fucking guy, don't worry about it. Just that's what you want to read. Mm-hmm. Go to the shop, strike up conversation, tell them your name. Tell them what you want to read, or ask them what do you read, or what suggestions.
Yeah, that really is the best thing that we could tell anyone is wherever, if you know anybody like us, I guess that's the reason they're asking us.
Yeah.
So, Sean, what would you recommend for someone, a youth who has never experienced comic books before,
And gender, like I can tell
male
you, like,
or female
well,
or both?
Okay, I can tell you right now. Neil Gaiman's Sandman, huge fan. I'll tell you right now. I'm a huge fan of Sandman. Oh, I love Sandman. Alan Moore, Watchmen, male or female. I mean, trust me, I see it in the shop. Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller. Mm-hmm. Maybe more towards guys. That one. Rat Queens. You ever heard of Rat Queens?
No.
All right, this is more a female one, I would say, because there are a few that I do see it. I'm not saying like one outweighs the other, but I see more just what I see in the shop. Think of it as like it's like a messed up. One person said it was like if I was DMing a group. And it's very female empowered, and it's medieval, and it's just fun but raunchy and fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, I'll take that.
I'm familiar with most of your suggestions, and they're all very adult-oriented comic suggestions.
Robert Kirkman, Invincible.
That's a good one.
That one,
I love that series. Starts off really innocent and gets it slowly gets darker. I need to finish that series.
And Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead, for you mainstream fans.
Yes,
but Invincible, and
I
you're the
add
one
that onto my suggestions
Yeah.
as well. Invincible is great. I tried to get one of my friends into it, and he talked to a guy at a different shop, and the guy was an uneducated swine. Who was like, so my buddy was like, what can you tell me? Basically, the title says it all. He's invincible. He has no weaknesses. But he didn't explain the story because he obviously didn't fucking read it.
Yeah, see, I flat out just tell people. Honesty is my only excuse. Like, I haven't read it. Like, here's another one, Saga. Saga is Brian Vaughn, who, when you walked in when we first started recording, he started out working on Lost.
Nice.
I'm a huge Lost fan, people. Then I was watching it again. Like, my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm going to go take another trip to the island. But he is doing Saga.
Yeah.
And those, I cannot keep those on the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
I get them in, and a lot of females do it. A lot of females. A lot of males. A lot of couples.
Yeah.
They love the Saga. I couldn't tell you one goddamn thing about it. Except that I want to read it, but it's like I'm sitting there just like this. I feel like what's a good explanation I could use where I'm just watching stuff just pass by and it's like, oh, I want that. I want that. Which spawned from that, you get like Sex Criminals. Mm-hmm. That's another good one. 2013 Sex Criminals. It's like a comedy type thing where how different societies or different races deal with sex.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. The Wicked and the Divine, which, stop me if this sounds familiar, gods who come down to Earth and become pop stars. Britney Spears or a Bieber or something like that.
All right, let's move on to Raymond's next question. Sean, what are some of the projects you have written for, and if someone wanted to look them up, where would they go? We've talked about a couple of things he's worked on. I would not recommend some of them, especially for the young and faint of heart.
I could a few things that I could do off air if you want to like PM me, because I went for the money rather than the notoriety. And I was part of I wasn't part of the Writers Guild, but I was part of like scab type things.
Yeah.
Because like it seems like the guild, they go on strike, like the wind blows and they're on strike, which was good for me. And then I take a lot of non-credited stuff. Mm-hmm. Actually, all non-credited. Well, very few things. But it means more money.
Yeah.
And come on, be honest. If you're not a Spielberg or you're not part of the company like a Bad Robot with J.J. Abrams or a Wingnut or what is it, Emblem with Spielberg, you know, all those. If you're not under any of those umbrellas, you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're outside looking in, just hoping, you know, waiting. They open the door and you're like, oh, come on in. You know, just for an hour, come on in. And we'll pay you, and we'll take your ideas. And sorry about the dead air. We had a moment there. So anyway, yeah, there's certain things, like I said, if you want to PM me, I have a lot of stuff. What I used to do was, once upon a time, especially, like, I've wrote 11 novels, which the reason I got picked up was because I started doing chapters for free on, like, when I had a MySpace page. And I didn't really know at the time. And don't ask me. I can see the comments flooding in right now. What's your MySpace page? I don't remember MySpace. I mean, I have a space, but I don't remember MySpace. I mean, how many out there listening could log into your MySpace page? But, yeah. Hey, we got a guest here. Ryan's back.
I'm going to have to leave again here shortly.
Oh, you're fine. Let's ask him. Give me another long-winded question so I can just and then leave. At first, I was startled, folks. Sorry about that dead air for 30 seconds.
Originally, I was gonna. That's the reason I gave you the T. Was I was gonna have you completely stop talking, and I was just gonna chop that section out.
You still could. It wasn't one of my better moments.
So, what else?
I got a few questions here.
Yeah, go for it.
What was the first movie / comic you guys remember ever reading, and how did it affect you? The very first movie or comic or whatever, and like you guys just thought it was great.
The first real comic book I ever read was I don't know the actual title of that story arc, but it was a Moon Knight comic.
The first thing you ever read was Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking badass.
It's the first actual comic I got and read was Moon Knight. That I can remember.
Do you have a movie that just the first time you ever that you're young? It can be anything. I mean, Power Rangers.
I have the worst memory. I don't remember much from being young. I mean, I'm sure you don't either because it was so long ago.
I'm trying to remember. It was the first thing that comes to mind was I can tell you the first comic that I saved up my own money and bought myself, and I thought I was so proud, was in the 70s. I bought the Superman versus Muhammad Ali comic.
Oh yeah.
And it's still I have it in the shop, autographed by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's the first one I ever bought, and I'd had met him, talked to him, had numerous times. He offered me a job. But the movie, I want to say maybe there's so many movies. The 1956 The Blob, Steve McQueen, which doesn't hold. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's the first thing that pops into my mind.
I can't really answer the question, unfortunately, because movies have not left that big of an impact on my life.
Yeah,
because for Sean, movies were the go-to entertainment source.
Yeah, well, yeah, movies and comics and
30 years later, I'm born into the age of video games, and so my entertainment about what I used for entertainment is completely different.
Yeah.
All right. I will be right
That's
back.
cool. Yeah, great question. Horrible answers, by the way, but great question. All right, I'm gonna do another one here. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, if you guys could pick or not pick, but what do you guys think of? Is there any property that you guys think could compete with Marvel today, right now? Oh. Well, Marvel's printing their own money, as you all know. I mean, it depends on what hands they fall into. Like I've said before, anybody could do anything. Like once upon a time, there was no. It's like way back when. It's like Iron Man. What is that? And it's old Buckethead. Once upon a time, when I was reading them, that was like old cash register. Especially just it falls into the right hands under the right guidance. And you have a map and you fill it out. I mean, you could do it. I'm a big fan of the Universal monsters. Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I still say to this day that you could take all those old Universal monsters as they were when they were black and white, but make them, color, and put them up against Jason and Freddy and Pinhead and Michael Myers and, Victor Crowley. You could do it with they did a Lone Ranger movie, which I remember watching Lone Ranger as a kid, the old Western TV serial. And then years later, 66 Batman, they did a crossover with the Green Hornet. And they made mention of the fact that he was a descendant of the Lone Ranger. And my head exploded. Green Hornet is a descendant of the Lone Ranger?
That dog really hates me. He actually bit me.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he bit me.
Did you bite him back?
I almost kicked him.
Well, go ahead. Give him a boot. I'm asking somebody asked, is there any property that you guys think could compete with Marvel today? I said it depends on, I gave my cheap, neutral, I love it all cop-out answer.
Yeah,
I did my Universal Monsters versus Freddy Jason.
I answered this question a minute ago when, I'm not a movie guy.
Yeah.
I watch movies, I enjoy movies, but I don't have a passion about movies. I only go see all the Marvel and DC movies because they're about something I enjoy. So I can't really say I have a contrary response to your whatever you said about Universal Monsters is it's not looking like they are much competition right now.
No, I said it. Well, I did mention the fact that it depends on the hands they fall into, because you could make it where, like they did with Freddy versus Jason or King Kong versus Godzilla. They're coming up with this, or the Pacific Rim or anything. You could do the fact where you could have the Universal monsters, Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, so on and so forth, versus Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers, and like throwing Chucky. Chucky is fighting the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You could make that. Give it to Kevin Feige. He seems to know and have a plan. Type of thing.
Alrighty. Mitchell Duncan asks, what are your ultimate plans for this channel? I'm going to give you guys the short version. What are your ultimate plans for this channel and the content? Do you gain satisfaction from producing it? But what are your plans what is your plan to offer the audience? Entertainment, education, reviews, a one-stop shop of what's new and exciting in the world of comics and related media / merchandise in the world of characters. A little of all of that. That's one of the reasons we, other than trying to avoid lawsuits, changed our name. Me personally, comics aren't my only thing I want to talk about. It was just a jumping off point, a mutual interest of Sean and mine that we could use to kick off the YouTube thing. And
hey, this guy comes into my shop and spends a lot of money on comics. And he also has some computer skills and wants to do something called a YouTube, podcast, whatever that. Yeah, sure, I'm on board. He spends a lot of money.
I think that's part of that internet fad.
What the fuck is the internet?
But like, if I were to give an explanation about how my relationship with comics, they are like, let's say my three interests go like this: my wife, my mistress, and the escort service I frequent.
Right on.
My wife, video games. My one true love. My mistress, anime. Just a little side project I frequent all the time. And every once in a while, I like to go and get my escort on
Me and drag.
with my comics.
So it is me and drag. I'm dragging your ass to the store.
And yeah, I kind of want to have us be part entertainment, part education, because being on the internet is part about entertaining people, but we also, we want to educate you on characters, their backstories, let you know why this character should be interesting to you, or help you understand, like, enlighten you with the idea of like, oh, I've never heard of this character, that you're feeding me information, and I find this very interesting, and I want to...
Right. Especially, I mean, this day and age, you're absolutely right. Because, like, movies, Netflix series, YouTube stuff, what's Hulu?
Yeah.
Like, they got shows like the Runaways.
Yeah.
I don't have that. It's on something else entirely that I do not even have. But, like, Marvel's cranking out stuff. DC's cranking out stuff. And it's like we've talked about it, I don't know how many times. They're teaching people who are watching these shows, these TV, the movies, everything, how to be comic book readers without reading comics. You know what I mean?
Another question is Sean going to dive into any of his script ideas?
I do. I'm almost finished with Superhero in Training. I'm almost done with it. Which is a mission. It is a I'm jumping on the comic bandwagon, but I break more than the fourth wall, so I'm like I'm heavier than Deadpool. And when I say heavy, I don't mean weight wise, I mean heavier.
But yeah, I want us to, of course, we're gonna keep talking about comics, because it's something we both are interested in. But Sean talks very passionately about movies, which I'd say is, even though you probably fell in love with comics first, movies is your bigger passion, because the way you talk about movies sometimes is just...
I have done a comic, but I've done movies.
Yeah.
But I've done a comic, but it's not fit to print.
Well, I mean, our interests, we have more interests than just comics. So
these days you're right.
And it's so hard for us to just talk about comics, because only so many comics come out, and we can only read so many comics.
It is too, and it's like what I always talked about, and I've mentioned it I don't know how many times with these movies, and I have a comic book store.
Yeah,
it's right there, but I can't it's just within arm's reach. But I've been there since I don't want to say the beginning, because there was stuff that predated me even.
Yeah,
but I grew up just reading these things and just falling in love with these characters, and then it's just reboot and rehash, and they're gonna change this character and this character, and they're gonna and alternate universes and everything. Whereas it's cool and all, don't get me wrong, I love it. Yeah. But when I go to see these movies now, they make me feel like a child again, like I did when I first opened up. And I told you that I'd be like, fucking Ryan, I cried when I saw fucking... And Ryan, it's not even a handshake anymore. It's like, how many times you cry? It's like, I rolled a tear on this part, and I saw this, and I saw this. So yeah, it's...
He also asks if I am going to be pitching jokes and stuff to dive into my desire of when I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. Unfortunately, I have to say I've kind of given up on that.
Damn it!
Is
I
because-
was so looking forward to be a heckler.
I am I have zero writing skill. None at all. I can't write to save my life. You could put a gun to my head and be like, write a story. And you'd have to kill me because I wouldn't be able to write anything.
So?
And writing, so I can't write jokes. I'm funny sometimes, but it's more quips and...
What I say? You're the fucking Jaws of comedy as far as I'm concerned. I don't see it. You get me what if I wrote?
I'm a comedy ninja. I just wait in the shadows.
You're the shark.
And then I strike.
Oh my god, I never see it coming either. 'Cause you gotta understand, folks, I've been working with this guy, as you well know, 2 years now. And he's like fucking wallpaper. I can't get a read on him.
Interestingly enough, I'm terrible at poker.
No. And like just doing any recording, no matter what. It's just like I've said it once. I get gushy every time we do an anniversary. I fucking love that I met this guy. I love this guy's in my life, and I will go out of my way. It's like we like to entertain you guys. We love the fact that you guys listen to us. We love the response and everything. But basically, I just do it for therapy and to try to get him to laugh because I love to laugh, and I'm waiting. What is he going to say next? I just want him to, and we do it back and forth. It's basically a game of chicken when we're recording.
Sometimes I don't even say it. I just wait until I'm editing, and I.
Oh yeah, that's the advantage you have.
Oh, I go. Okay, son, you're gonna say that, huh?
The shadow. Who dares know what lies in the heart of the shadow?
So I think we'll answer a couple more questions and then wrap this up. If we didn't get to your question today, I'm really sorry. Our first half went on for a little while.
We had a dilemma.
Yeah. A few interruptions. I don't know what's getting
I got a question.
Yes.
Here we go. I want one. You guys give us your 3 favorite moments so far in the MCU. Speaking of movies. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just moments that just, when you're watching the movies, because everybody's geared up for Infinity War.
The introduction of Spider-Man in Civil War.
Right.
That moment in Captain America where he was still the skinny kid and he grabbed that trash can like a shield. That trash can lid.
I could do this all day.
And...
Oh, dude, you're going to make me cry right now.
And what else? The dance off at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh shit! And then at the end with the mom, where she's like, "Peter, take me." Oh my god! God, you're gonna make me cry.
Sean's tearing up over here.
I am, because I'm the same way. I'm like, just what make my heart, just those moments. Do I have to pick 3? Only 3?
But my number one is when Spidey takes Cap's shield, lands. Hey everyone.
See, I was right afterwards because it was the moment with me with him and Cap, where it's like, you got a lot of heart, kid. Where are you from? Queens, Brooklyn. I'm like, oh my god.
You don't know him. It was Steve from Brooklyn.
Oh man. And then the first Avengers, that scene where they just all came together. They were like, they did that circle cam.
Yeah.
They were like, you saw them all. And then my number 1, I'd have to say, was, which sums up the entire, because I saw the Infinity War trailer, where he's like, all right, you ready to go kill some Nazis, Steve? First Captain America.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to kill anybody. I just don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from. And it shows Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet in the trailer, and Cap's like fucking grabbing it, and you can see how big Thanos is, and he's like dug in the dirt, and he's like, I'm like, but it starts at when he before he gets the serum, and everybody's like, Steve Rogers, this puny little guy, is not supposed to be there. And when Tommy Lee Jones' character throws the grenade, everybody runs. Steve jumps on it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh shit. That was the Marvel moment for me. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm tearing up.
It's gonna be okay, Sean.
Oh, just thinking about it, man. I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from. But he's like right there. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, fuck, they're gonna kill him. They're going to kill him in the movie. Oh, anyway, fuck you for making me cry.
Now that we've made Sean cry,
That's not that hard. God, what happened to me?
I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. If you guys really like this video, give us a bunch of likes, and we can do another Q&A and finish off the rest of the questions in another episode real soon. But only if we know that's what people want. If we don't get enough feedback, of like button, comment saying please do more, we're not gonna do it.
Ooh, maybe it's our 2-year. We make it a 2-parter.
Maybe. So, yeah, if you guys like it, hit the like button. Leave us a comment as if you want us to do more, or if you have questions. We can, we don't mind answering questions at all.
I'm going to troll.
Sean will troll his own channel just to get...
I don't know if people are aware at this point that it's a running joke.
So please, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And happy anniversary. As always.
Have a day.